Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you. If you go to my website, if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets which you can download in US letter or A4, and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel and share out the videos. And now we're going to complete the paper C from the 2018 Grade 3 practice paper booklet. So we're going to look at the last question of the exam paper that would have been in the last examining period of 2018. So if you turn with me to page 14, we'll have a look at this question 9 here. So have a go of this yourself. First of all, it's always better to learn by your mistakes. Always work in pencil, and then it doesn't matter if you go wrong, you can just rub it out and have another go. You'll learn much more thoroughly that way than just by passively copying it through with me. And so all of the questions relate to this little extract of music here, and so we'll just work through these together. So the first question asks us how many demi-semiquavers or 32nd notes the last note of the melody is worth. So I'm just going to diagram that out, and I'm just going to drop to the bottom of the page just for a bit more space. And so first of all, I'm just going to look at how many demi-semiquavers or 32nd notes there are in a crotchet or a quarter note. So we know a crotchet or a quarter note divides into 2 quavers, 2 eighth notes, which divides again into 4 semiquavers or 16th notes. And so if we diagram again, we can see we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 demi-semiquavers. I'll just put a couple there. I'm going to get squished otherwise. We've got 8 demi-semiquavers or 32nd notes to a crotchet. Now let's look at what note we're actually looking for. We're looking at a dotted minim or a dotted half note, which is 3 times the value of this. We can see that a minim divides into 2 crotchets or 2 quarter notes, and then the dot gives another one. So what we've got to do is have 8 multiplied by 3. If you remember your times tables, 3 8s are 24, and so that's the answer there. If you're really not sure about that, you can just do that 3 times and just diagram that out. Whatever helps you. If it's better to visualise it, then do so. So there we go, 24. A little bit of note reading here. Give the letter name of the lowest note in the melody, so we need to be careful of the clef and also of the key signature. So we're in the bass clef. We've got a key signature of 3 sharps, F, C, G, and now we need to look at the lowest note. So that's pretty low. So we're on the bottom line. However, if we go further, we're 1 step lower. So with this note here, well, this is a G or a G sharp, because it is Good Boys Deserve. So 1 step below that is F, and then of course it's F sharp because of the key signature, so F sharp. There we go. So are these statements, that was a mouthful, true or false? Does the melody get slower in bar 7? Now we need to be fully aware of what this means. Of course, rit does mean ritardando or ritenuto, which is gradually slowing down. We can see the root word rit from retard, as if you retard the engine. You apply the brakes, for example. However, that's not the full story. We have this word here, senza, which means without. And so it's actually without a rit. The composer is telling us not to slow down at the end, but just to keep to tempo. So in actual fact, the melody does not get slower because of that word senza. So that statement is false. A bit tricky there, so you need to be fully aware of all of your performance terms and musical directions. Now, is it true that the melody begins on the 4th beat of the bar? So we have a time signature of 4/4 and we have one beat. That's an anacrusis or an upbeat. And so what we have to do is presume that that's the last beat of the bar. The remaining 3 are made up at the end of each phrase and at the end of the melody for sure. And so that is as if it was beat 4, because we have beats 1, 2, 3, and then we come in on the 4th beat of the bar. The reason we do that is because we want the first beat of the bar, which is the naturally accented rhythm of music. The composer wants this to be the accent, and this is just a weaker beat lead in. So all of that is a lengthy explanation to say, yes, indeed, it does begin on the 4th beat of the bar. That statement is true. Now then, we're asked to give the number of the bar that contains the loudest note in the melody. So we're beginning moderately loud, but then here we're having a crescendo. That means we're gradually getting louder. We reach the pinnacle of that here, and then the music drops off to quiet. It stays quiet and then gets even quieter. So this is the loudest point. For the very fact that we have this crescendo, this accent will also add to that as well, but the crescendo is the main reason, and so bar 4 is where the music is loudest. Now then, we have to rewrite the melody. Now just make sure we're copying out the correct bit from the beginning of the music to the first note of bar 4. So we're going from here to here. However, we need to make the music an octave higher, and we need to switch to treble clef. And the way to make sure we're ending up in the correct octave is to use middle C as an anchor point. And so here's middle C, and at present we're at the E below middle C. And so to make that an octave higher, we will be the E above middle C, which, just to get us started, there's middle C, there is the E. So that's our starting point. And so what I'm going to do now, just so I haven't got too many other things to be thinking about, I'm just going to map out my bars, and I'm keeping it aligned with theirs, just so I know I'm not going to run out of space. I know it's going to be properly aligned, and also so I can keep exactly in step with them, and that way I won't get lost. I've got enough to be thinking about. So we're going to have to go lower now, so we're going to end up using some ledger lines. So here, this is the E below middle C, we're now on the E above middle C, and now we're dropping down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. 1, 2 is the space, 3, 4, 5. So we can see we've gone from this A to this A here, which is still just below middle C. And then we're going to go down a step, so we still need those 2 ledger lines, and we're going down a step, back up to the same note we were on just. And now we're going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which takes us to middle C. Here is middle C, there's the C below, and so an octave higher would take us exactly to middle C, so we know we're correct. Go back up 3 notes, 1, 2, 3, and that should take us exactly where we started. So you can see I'm going from the notes in relationship to how many steps, and I'm also comparing to what's gone before just to double check myself. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back down 4 to the note we were on. Up a step. I suppose I can put the dot. Up a step to the G. Up a step takes us to the A. Now we should have been there before. Yes, we have. Up a step. Back down a step. Down a step. Down a step. Up a third. Back to where we were before. Now then, down 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 takes us to the E where we actually began, and that shouldn't be coloured in. Getting carried away. That's a dotted minim, a dotted half note, and so we're right back where we started, and that's correct. And so that's all the hard thinking done. Now we've just got to be careful where we put our stems. So stems pointing up all the way, because everything is below the middle line apart from this one here, which is on the middle line, which can go either way. So we'll just keep stems pointing up. So easy peasy now. So all of these will be grouped together. 1, 2, 3, 4. By all means, use a ruler. I'll take my own advice there. And for the purposes of this question, that will do. If you wanted to, you could put all of the little slurs and articulation marks and so on, but we're not required to do that. So in terms of getting your 10 points, that's job done. And that's the end of that question. That's also the end of that paper. I do hope this is helpful to you. I hope that it's helping you to become more confident. These are excellent revision resources before you take your actual exam. Work through lots and lots of these past papers. There's plenty for you to go at online that I've gone through to help you. If you can give me a like, that would be really fab, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated, and please share out the videos. Please also do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.